If you want to make money and you want to make money to keep it for yourself and for generations and use it productively, then you have to make money in the strongly honest, ethical way. Because money made unethically has never been given peace to either the person who has earned it. Ironically, ethics and integrity are becoming a rare characteristic. And therefore, the people who have that are differentiating themselves from the rest of the world and are being sought after. Professional qualifications like the CFA program and the CFA Institute focus on a code of conduct. As a candidate as well as a CFA charter holder, you are bound to a code of conduct and ethics. You sign that every year. I have been asked to speak on ethical leadership for the future, and I'm quite happy to speak on that subject. My speech is not a moral science lecture, so I do hope that you would provide your attention and be able to take away some key things that will help you as future leaders of the world. In the next century, leadership will come amongst you. How many of you are below 20 years of age? Which means when we talk about a Viksit Bharat in 2047, a developed India, all of you would be hardly in your 40s, which means you would be the leaders leading various organizations. You would be the people who would be providing stewardship, as Richard mentioned, to organizations around the world. And you would be the people who would be responsible for whatever is there in the present at that time of managing and leading a developed nation, as well as preparing us for the next century. As somebody who has crossed the half century mark in terms of age, I can tell you one thing, that while that point in time looks really far away, it's not going to be long before it is right there in front of you. It's a question of just a few seconds, literally. While you look at your mirror and look at yourself right now, that soon you will be looking at yourself there in 2047, when you are older, wiser, and a leader in business and in organizations, taking charge and taking the country forward. To reach there, one has to have a long journey. One has to go through the ups and downs of life and be prepared for what stands in front of you in terms of volatility, in terms of the uncertainty, in terms of the chaos, which I think you're pretty used to because that's a part of your life even now, and in terms of the ambiguity that comes with it. So during this process, while you prepare yourself, you have to do certain things. And most important, you have to stay the course as you move towards that point in time, that very near future, where you will actually see your dreams of today become reality, and where you will see yourself in those positions of leadership that you all aspire for. What do you need to do, those things that prepare you for that future? I think that's what I hope that this business conclave is helping you to learn, because what you are getting through these few days is exposure to people who have been through that journey. And they say that experience is like a comb which you get when you are bald. So there's really very little that can do with our own experience than hand over that to people like you who have hair and therefore can utilize it to build the future generation. The first thing that I would suggest to you to look at, and which is part of the subject area that is very close to our heart at CFA Institute, very close to my heart because it has been an integral part of my success story, and which is absolutely essential to build personally as well as professionally, is look at the need for a strong foundation in ethics and integrity. As I said again, this is not a moral science lecture. Ethics and integrity are important to you because they are foundational to your personality. They are foundational to the development of an industry and foundational to the development of a country. Ethics actually makes business sense, and that's why it's very important. To illustrate why ethics makes business sense, one needs to look at examples of where a lack of ethics and integrity has led to the erosion of human and financial capital. In the investment management world and in the financial services industry, every time there has been a trend which goes downwards, you will find that the key reason for that has been a financial scam or a misappropriation of funds. There have hardly been a downtrends in financial markets due to ecological catastrophes or political catastrophes. But there have been multiple examples in history of downtrends in capital markets linked to financial catastrophes caused by unethical behavior. Be it the case of Enron in 2001, human cap and as well as investor capital were eroded. Be it our own Satyam computer scam, which led to the erosion of 20,000 crores of financial capital, or the 2008 subprime crisis, which eroded $10 trillion of human wealth. Today, we are talking about making India a $4.5 trillion GDP nation in 2026. Imagine in 2008, the unethical behavior of a few people in the financial markets in New York led to the erosion of 2.5 times of the total wealth of India, or what India aspires for, in 2008. Each of these crises has not just led to the erosion of financial wealth, it has also led to the loss of jobs, breakdown in families, and people committing suicide because of the financial loss of family losses that they have faced. Imagine if any one of you was responsible for such a catastrophe. Irrespective of how rich you are, tell me how many of you would be able to go back to sleep peacefully if you were the person behind such a catastrophe? Personally speaking, how many of you want to make a lot of money? All of you. Okay, how many of you want to make money fast? Excellent. And how many of you want to lose that money very quickly? One of you. I hope for good causes, for donations, giving it back to society, absolutely. Go ahead and lose your money. But if you want to make money, and you want to make money to keep it for yourself and for generations and use it productively, then you have to make money in the strongly honest, ethical way. Because money made unethically has never been given peace to either the person who has earned it or to the person who has received it, and definitely not given peace to the person who lost it for you to make that money. You might be able to make a lot of money very easily with unethical practices. And it's very easy. In fact, the temptation to behave unethically mainly comes from the intention, from the aspiration to make money fast. But money that has been earned this way has barely ever stayed with the person who has earned it, nor has it given peace to the person who has earned it. Most of the people who were responsible for such quick money making, unethical money making, finally landed up in jail or committed suicide. So, if you really want to enjoy the fruits of your labor, it makes sense and it makes business sense to have that money built on foundations of ethics and integrity. And that's what you build it through life. For understanding ethics and integrity now, what do you need to do? It's important that you know what doing things right looks like, and then do the right things. Knowledge of what is right, what is wrong, and understanding the implications of your actions is extremely important for ethical integrity, as well as is an important characteristic of a leader. When you stand in front of an audience, even today, as Richard mentioned, or when you go in for interviews, the first thing that organizations which build sustainable businesses are looking for is the strength of your character and your attitude. And you are expected to demonstrate a strong foundational knowledge of what is right, what is wrong, and have a sense of ethics and integrity. So, first, build your knowledge of what is right and what is wrong. Most of the time, wrongdoing occurs because the person who is doing it did not have knowledge of the implications of their actions. So, before you do something, before you jump off the cliff, just stand and look down and see what the height is. Most of the time, we jump off the cliff because we are looking up at our aspirations and ambitions which stay ahead of us. And as you all look up towards that objective of making money and making money fast, it's very easy to skip that step and go down the ledge instead. So, understanding and knowledge of what is right, and having the understanding and knowledge or the ability to sit down and consider the implications of your actions on the world is a skill that you need to develop, build, and demonstrate if you are looking at a long term career in leadership. The second thing is build a reputation based on that. And that is where return on investment on ethics and integrity comes in. Personally speaking, I can tell you today at every interview or every job position, wherever it has been, when I speak up about myself and talk about I'm asked about what my key strength is or what is the one thing that I will not compromise on. And I have always mentioned integrity. And I have barely faced questions after that. Because as we move through this world, ironically, ethics and integrity are becoming a rare characteristic. And therefore, the people who have that are differentiating themselves from the rest of the world and are being sought after. So, when you have built a reputation based on ethics and integrity, the return on investment starts coming for you as you further progress because you become that rare commodity. The value of rare commodities is what goes up, as you would see. Does anybody know gold prices today? Yeah. What was it a year ago? Yeah. So, why is gold providing you such high returns? Because it is being seen as a safety net in a volatile world and because it is a rare commodity. Both of these characteristics align with ethics and integrity in character. Ethics and integrity in character are like gold. They are your safety net in a volatile world. So, businesses will look for people who have that, who have a reputation for that. And second, they are a rare commodity. As we progress through the world, they are becoming rarer and rarer. So, your demonstration of ethics and integrity in your resume, in your character, and in your behavior is actually return on investment for staying the course and might become your differentiating factor when you aspire for leadership positions. There are, I don't know, how many students are there in SRCC? How many students are there in SRCC as a whole? So you are amongst 3,500 very bright, ambitious, aspiring young people. What was the cutoff percentage to get in here from QET? So you are amongst those who have scored 99 to 100 percentile. So that means you came here after fighting through millions of other aspiring candidates, and yet you are amongst 3,500. You may proceed to get an MBA next. You will be amongst thousands of MBA students from top tier universities in India. When you aspire for leadership positions, the number of leadership positions in organizations is less than 100. So, what are you going to build between acquiring an SRCC graduate degree, a top tier MBA degree, to becoming among those few hundred people who lead organizations? That differentiating factor is not coming from education, it's coming from your character and your behavior. So, do invest in yourself to build that character and behavior, and build that value slowly and strongly, just as you would build your portfolio. The biggest asset that you will build, which will carry you forward through life and even after your life, is not that financial portfolio that you have built or the wealth that you have created or your position. It is your reputation, because that is what people will talk about behind your back, in front of you, and after you are gone. That's precisely why ethics and integrity are essential to character building, to leadership, and to the future of this country. Beyond this, I would just say this, tell you why and how, rather, you should go about doing it. Acquiring the knowledge of what is right, understanding the implications of your action, and thirdly, ensuring that there is somebody to watch you. Of course, the highest point in ethics is about doing the right things when nobody is watching. But we are human and we can slip sometimes. And therefore, it's always nice to have a guard post, somebody who will make sure that you stay on course, or something that will ensure that you stay on course. It could be your parents and their value system. It could be your community. It could be your children in the future, who you think about before you do something wrong or right. That guard post always helps you. Or definitely, what could stay with you is being, of course, a part of a community of professionally qualified professionals. Professional qualifications like the CFA program and the CFA Institute focus on a code of conduct. As a candidate as well as a CFA charter holder, you are bound to a code of conduct and ethics. You sign that every year. And if therefore you have knowledge of what is right and wrong, and two, we hold you to the adherence of it. At CFA Institute, ethics is a part of everything we do, be it our education and curriculum. In fact, it is seen by most of you. Are any of you CFA program candidates? So you might find that it is the most difficult part of your curriculum. Do you find that the most difficult part of your curriculum? Yes. So it is the most difficult part of our curriculum. It exists across all three levels. And it's there for that very reason, because understanding of ethics is not easy. But it's also a part of the behavior that is expected of you as a CFA program candidate and as a charter holder. Not adhering to our code of conduct can lead to investigation and action. We have a disciplinary review committee, which consists of charter holders from around the world, who, if they receive a complaint of misconduct from our candidates or charter holders, investigate it. And if you are found to be in violation of the code of conduct, there is action, including taking away your charter from you. In addition to that, we actually publish a list of people, these people who have been found in violation, on our website. So there is no way in which you can get away without being known for what you have done or not done. And that acts as a guard post for our charter holders and candidates as we work towards building an ethical industry. And therefore, it's good to be a part of such a community beyond your guard posts of family and other and children and your value systems. Beyond this, I would say you are the smartest minds in this world, and the smartest minds in the world have a challenge. The challenge is that when you are extremely intelligent, it's very easy to be extremely devious. The best devious minds in the world have been the most intelligent ones. So, the challenge to remain ethical and to remain on the right course is the toughest for the young people who are aspirational and are extremely brilliant. So, therefore, it's more important for those of you in this crowd at SRCC to build and invest in ethics and integrity in your own character and behavior. But that's absolutely paramount for you in terms of your long term success. So I wish you all the best, wish you luck. I do hope to see you as future leaders. Thank you very much.